Solar flash update March 27th and 28th, 2023. Spiritual energy effects continue after the first solar wave that hit a few days ago. Protests are increasing worldwide. NASA has predicted that there will be intense solar activity from the years 2023 to 2025. In fact, this latest solar event that many of us believed was the first wave of the solar flash, that was much more powerful than even NASA had expected. Hi, this is thunderwizard.com YouTube channel, and I am Mahadeva the Thunder Wizard. And on this channel, I give you practical tools to help you make this shift. The solar flash event has begun. That wave that hit us a few days ago was the first of many to come, and I know it affected me. It is still affecting me. I am still absorbing it. I am still balancing it and learning from it. My interdimensional meditations are going through the roof. So the Earth herself is also still balancing. I mean, just from a scientific perspective, the electromagnetic fields and all that stuff, the Earth herself, all of this energy is balancing out. So I can still feel it. In fact, there are times in the past couple of days when I've just lied down or I've taken a nap, and the energy flowing through my body has been unbelievable. I've also been getting more downloads, deeper experiences in my interdimensional meditation, which I recommend everybody do. So this channel here, by the way, this channel is to give you the tools to achieve your own 5D shift. The most important tool, I recommend going to the thunderwizard.com website and subscribing to the Warrior 90-Day Lightning Qigong. And that will give you power. I talk about it in depth on the Patreon channel, but the energy that you derive from doing that practice will actually help you shift. So don't wait for the rest of these solar waves to hit. Don't be passive about this. I am doing everything I can to get myself leveled up so that as the waves continue to hit, it's easier for me to tolerate. So continuing with that, the toleration of the solar wave event, we have protests increasing worldwide. So what you're going to see here, based on what I felt, based on my meditations, based on listening to other people who have been having interactions with higher dimensional beings, we're all coming to the same conclusion, which is that there's two things going on. The first one is that human beings are waking up. And as human beings wake up, they are not going to tolerate the elites to continue to control us. They're going to become more and more aware of how they are being controlled, how their freedoms are being taken away from them, and they're going to take action. So that's why we're seeing a lot of protests. The other thing that's going to happen is you're going to see the elites doubling down and overreaching even more than normal because they know what is happening. In fact, the deep state, Black Ops, has technology that they're trying to use to block and prevent the solar waves from hitting Earth. By the way, there's a reason why for 2 years we were locked up and we couldn't go outside. So, it was a very childish notion to try and keep you out of the sun. But moving on with that, so we've got protests. We've got protests in Israel, where the Israeli population is protesting in the street, fighting with cops, lighting fires. And it's because Netanyahu is trying to take complete control over the government. And he's firing people in his government who are trying to stop him from taking complete power, turning himself into a dictator. So the people are rising up there. We've still got the protests in France. There's some protests going on in Africa, which I don't understand, so I won't talk about it. But a lot of people are waking up, and they're just not willing to put up with the narrative anymore. The deep state elite are trying very hard to grab up as much control as they can. They're in a panic. They feel this. They know they're losing control. So it's very possible you're going to see more of this. And as I talked about last time, there's hints of war. And as you know, there's this they're trying to introduce this idea that there is an alien mothership out there that might be sending probes. They're getting you set up for the false alien invasion, which is not alien at all. All of the Tic Tacs and the UFOs and the UAPs that you see following the Air Force and the military, those are actually deep state human created craft, and those are actual tests that are done so that the military can say, oh my God, we're being chased by aliens, so that you'll be afraid. And then what will happen is, if they're given the opportunity, they will actually launch an attack against humans. Dr. Stephen Greer has just come out with a new film. I recommend. I haven't seen it yet, but he talks about this in depth. So get yourself educated on that. So we've got a lot of things going on based on what was happening to me during that first wave and the downloads that I was getting. That was the shift. The shift began then. And so I assume it's going to be incremental. And there's going to be more and more of these waves, and each time they hit, human beings are going to absorb it and wake up, and each time it hits, the deep state is going to lose more and more power, and they're going to start to get more fragmented and more frightened, and they're going to start overreaching. And so just keep your eyes peeled about that, and do your energy work. And in fact, this last solar event turns out that it was much more powerful than NASA was predicting. And NASA, as it turns out, has been predicting that there's going to be intense solar activity from 2023 to 2025, actually 2026. And it's because they know that the sun is going through this shift where the magnetic poles of the sun are shifting, and whenever that happens, there's a lot of solar activity. So I don't know, if I just take that at face value, that might mean that the solar wave event, the ascension event, may be 2 or 3 years in the making. So this is going to be very interesting next couple of years. I'm looking forward to the next solar event to see what that's going to be like. But that's where I'm at now. So feel free to put in the comments your experience, what's been happening for you in terms of the energies that you've felt. And I recommend that everybody listening to me, do interdimensional meditation. Interdimensional meditation is my word for human initiated contact with higher dimensional beings of light. You can also just Google CE5 protocols, and you can do it yourself. That is going to be designed for people who want to sit on their balcony or go out into the field or at the beach and to look up and see interesting lights from higher dimensional beings who are coming into the third dimension. They will show themselves, but really what these beings want is they want to commune with you. So giving you the light show in the CE5 is really just about opening up your awareness to that something is different, that three-dimensional reality is permeable, and that there's something more to it than that. But when you start meditating and communicating with these beings, you start to find out what our multiverse is about, and that's what we live in. And so the one thing that is guaranteed to destroy the elites is when we keep poking holes in the third dimension with our human initiated contact with higher dimensions and higher dimensional beings. So I have a course, the Interdimensional Meditation course, which you can find at thunderwizard.com. I recommend that you just subscribe to the Lightning Qigong, which is $1 more, because then that will help you even more profoundly and give you your body more ability to handle the energy from the Interdimensional Meditation course. So we've got courses.thunderwizard.com. We've got my books, Interdimensional Revolution, plus Extraterrestrials Are Coming to Earth, which you can find on audiobooks.thunderwizard.com. If you're not in the United States and you go to audiobooks.thunderwizard.com, click on the US link. It'll be up at the top, the US site link, and then you can see all of my books. That's it, my friends. I wish you guys all the best. That's my update, and we will be talking very soon.